In this video, I'm going to show you step-by-step instructions on how to replace the front screen on the Samsung S23. This is the regular version. This phone's hot because it's been on the hot plate. I'm going to dive straight into repair, starting off by removing the back cover by sticking on a suction cup on the back there. Once I've stuck that on there, we're going to lift up with this. It has been on here a little bit long because I've just been delayed with another repair. It's been on the hot plate for about 20 minutes, so that's why it's so easy to remove that back cover. If it's difficult, if you're using a hairdryer, then you might have to lift it up slowly, get something in that gap there to pry it open. But best laid plans and all that, it's been on there too long, it's too easy to remove. Actually, this one came off yesterday. Let's do story time. That's why it's so easy to remove. My colleague took this off yesterday. Somebody asked us to do a Samsung S23 screen. We ordered in a service pack with the frame. Now, because this is the US version, it's got these little antenna here and here, we're going to have to do a slightly different repair, and it's just the OLED, so not the frame. We're going to keep the frame, just replacing the front display because we couldn't get an S911U screen in stock. So let's crack on with the repair now that we've got it open. I've got loads of videos on the channel already where we remove back covers from Samsung models. It's fairly straightforward. Now that we're into the device, let's begin removing this shield here. This is the metal one that holds down the battery connector as well as the display connectors. But we're going to remove the entire logic board. So we're going to get all of the screws out from this top section of the device so that it just makes the repair easier. I don't have to flip the screen over, so I don't want to damage the cameras. And I do apologize if I'm talking a little bit fast. At the moment, we are absolutely stacked with repairs. I'm planning to have a weekend off, but it's looking unlikely because of my ever-increasing job list. Don't forget these two screws that hold the camera down as well. They are important because you won't get the board out without removing them. All the screws are the same size, so don't worry about mixing them up. Let's move down to the bottom as well, and you're gonna have to watch me unscrew a few more screws now. Don't forget, if you like repair videos just like this, subscribe to the channel. And if you're having a go at the repair yourself, make sure you leave me a comment letting me know how you get on in the box below. So now that all those screws are removed, we're going to take a plastic spudger, a prying tool, and we're going to disconnect this little guy here. He's responsible for the wireless charging, and then we're just going to fold this guy back and get it out of the way. Next, we're going to disconnect the battery to isolate power from the device, and then I'm going to disconnect all these cables just here, allowing us to remove the all-important logic board. We also need to disconnect this guy as well as this guy, and then we're going to go for this top speaker and get that out of the way. I'm going to just use the tweezers to lift it up from here, pop it out, put it to one side for later. In a previous video I did forget to remove the camera, so I'm not going to do that mistake again. That's the front camera I'm talking about, and that should mean that the logic board is removable now. We're going to get the plastic prying tool underneath it so that we can wiggle it out just like that. Store that safely for later. Try and not make contact with the lenses on those. Now let's go for this bottom area. There is a nice handy little prying point here. Lift it up. Just let me do that again. Let me do that again because it went blurry. There's a prying point just here. Get the tweezers in that spot and you can just pull that out very, very easily, and then the whole speaker comes out. Don't worry about this bit, we can leave that in. If you do want, because these cables will be flopping around in a minute, pop those out, move them out of the way, and then we're going to disconnect this guy just here. That's the display cable, and it is important to remove that because that's what we're going to take off next. Now, you can see it's the US version. It's got these weird antennas on it that we're not used to in Europe. Moving on, we need to remove the glass and the OLED from the front here. To do that, we need to get it really nice and hot on the hot plate. So I'm going to move this and take it over there now. So I've got this on the hot plate. I've got it set to 85 degrees C. We took the cameras out because I'm going to flip this over like that. I'm not too worried about these flex cables, but just be careful not to damage them whilst you're working on the screen there. Now, this screen here, the top half of it isn't damaged. The damage is only in this bottom left corner. So I'm going to try and lift it up with suction cup again on there. Suction it up, make it nice and tight. We're going to need a blade and a little guitar pick, and I'm going to try and pry this off. Right, I'm going to run some alcohol on there. All the way around. Nice bead of it. Plenty in the tank, sir. Lift up here, and I'm going to try and create a bit of a gap. With that gap created, it's going to make it easy to remove the rest. The OLED on this display is already damaged, so I'm not that bothered about damaging it further. Although, if your glass isn't cracked, then it's nice to, I suppose, not damage the OLED further. You see I've got this bigger gap. I'm just working my way around, trying to make it so that I can fit my guitar pick underneath. And I'm sort of in a bit of space in between the OLED panel and the chassis there. And I'll be honest with you, this is not easy. I'm putting a lot of strength into lifting it up, and they are very tough to remove. Moving all the way down, I'm going to carry on separating it. There's a lot of adhesive underneath the actual OLED itself on these, so you can get away with squirting a bit in that gap that you've created, and you just got to work your way through. If you're refurbing it, good luck taking these off. This is why I never really got into refurbing these Samsung displays. This side's come off quite easily actually. Just continuing all the way down, lifting up from that top area. You see we've got a bit of an area here where we're in between where the crack is, and it's much tougher. Let's see if I can get it out with the blade there. Add alcohol, and I'm just working my way through, trying my best to get this off, and we're nearly there. There we go, that's just about got it. The last bit was the bit where it was foobarred, and that's it. That's the screen removed and the frame left behind like that. I don't know what condition this OLED panel's going to be in, but it doesn't matter because it was broken. Chuck it in the bin. So back to the workstation now. You can see on this frame, chassis, whatever you want to call it, mid-frame, there is a lot of adhesive left behind. With the phone nice and warm, it shouldn't be too bad to remove that. If you use a little blade like that, once you've got underneath it, you should be able to grab hold of it and pull a lot of it off. Peel off as much of that adhesive as possible. And it's important when you're doing this style of repair to use the Samsung OLED rework kit, and I'll link that in the description below. It really does make a bad job good if you use them. I've seen people using glue and stuff. It doesn't work. It just never sticks down properly, and yeah, it's not good enough for a proper repair, is it? If the parts are available, then the parts we will use. That's my motto. Just be careful when you're around the camera area, because you don't want to get your mucky fingerprints or Nathan's grubby mitts on there. All this gunk and stuff that's left behind, I'm going to use this little brush, and I've got some not isopropyl alcohol, acetone on that, and I'm going to give it a real good scrub. You need to make sure that it is clean. Do you like that? Just make sure it's really clean. There's always these little bits of like rubbery glue down the bottom, and I just use the little blade to chop them away, just in case they ever get in the way, because we're not going to replace that bit of glue. I don't know, that's some factory stuff that. Then around the camera, I'm just going to clean it up a bit the best I can. Probably rub it off with my finger rather than getting acetone on that camera itself, because we don't want that there. That is pretty clean, pretty good. I am happy. I had to buy this in 3 parts. Normally it comes in a kit which has got the main bit of adhesive on, which is this bit. Just double check that it fits and which way that it's going to fit. So it goes on like, does it go on like that, or does it go on like that? It went on the first way I said. Peel off the clear side and then line it up in the top left corner as always. Allow the left hand side to line up, and then the rest of it should follow. Use a plastic spudger to push it down and make sure that it's all secured all the way around. These screens are a very tight fit into this frame. You saw how difficult it was to remove it. I want this to be as hard to remove as that one was. So with that on, we can remove the green film off there. You'll get one of these things in the kit as well. These are really awkward to stick on, but what it should look like is something like that. It should come off like that, the clear sheet, and then it allows you to line this guy up and stick it on the bottom there, push it down into place. Use your tweezers on this one because it's a really fine bit of adhesive. Sometimes with the adhesive kits they have another piece here which sticks on that bit, but I believe when we ordered this it was out of stock. If it becomes separated for any reason at all, I would of course warranty that, but I don't believe that we're going to have problems with this one. Unlike the screens that we normally use with the frame on, I'll show you how these look, how these come out of the box. much lighter. They look like this. It's literally just the OLED panel only. They have this nice bit of protective plastic for the bonding at the bottom of the display. Take that plastic film off. We need to take that off. That cable there really threw me off, but this is the right display. Let's line that in. Make sure that it sticks on where we want it to stick on, and push down, secure it properly. And it is right. It's just this, you know, that flex cable there, it just proper threw me. I don't know why. I don't know if on the UK version this one threads through. I'm not sure. But that's it. The screen's on there. We can use heat later just to warm that up, soften the adhesive up and get a better bond on there. But that's it. We are connected. We are in. Let's begin reinstalling the logic board. So we'll get that locked into place. I had a real panic there. Can't wait to watch the footage back where I'm like, what is going on? Drop the logic board back into place. Don't connect the battery yet. Reconnect this antenna here. Reconnect this antenna here, and then reconnect the front camera there. Now let's go for our display cable. Make sure that this goes on the right way around. I think it can only go one way around, so don't worry that much. The arrow points to where it connects on the logic board. Connect that up. Then we can go for our sub to main cable, which is this one. Up to there, like that. And then you've got one more antenna cable, which connects. Look, it tells you where it goes. That says main, that says sub. You guessed it. Main goes to the main board, and sub goes to the sub board down here. Who would have thought it? We can make sure that that's connected. Just make sure it's sat real nice. I knew it wasn't. Did you hear it click? I could just see it wasn't right. Anyway, it is connected now. Pop that on top. You can tell that I don't do this repair style very often, because I'm a bit nervous. Most of the time we just use service packs, so they're very straightforward, easy. They have the frame with them. Anyway, sorry, I'm not giving you instructions. Reconnect these screws. Resecure. Rescrew. I think there's 8 in this bit. And if you're curious about this supersonic screwdriver, I will try and remember to stick a link for this in the description below as well. Loads of links. Click them all. Earn me a little bit of commission. I don't make a lot of money out of that, don't worry. It just means that I can feed my kids for another week. Anyway, reconnect the battery. I'm just being silly now, aren't I? Ear speaker in place. When I say feed my kids, I mean cover for Nathan's mistakes for a week. Reconnect that one. And then we can fold this guy over. Make sure that just the metal one goes in second, right? Hear me out. You can't put the metal one in first and then the plastic one, because it just tucks in just up here. There's a little spot where it goes. It's stuck to something now. Tucks in there, tucks in there. That's the one. Reconnect that cable and then begin screwing everything else back down. Pretty simple stuff. I was explaining to Alex earlier that these do take a little bit more skill than those service pack repairs, but it's quite rewarding to do because you're actually doing some real work instead of just playing spot the difference in swapping parts over, making sure that everything goes in. And I can't reiterate enough how important it is to use those service pack adhesive kits. Like, if you can get hold of them, just buy them. It's an extra £5 on top of the repair, but it's important. Trust me on this. Right, I've got one screw left, and there's the hole. If you've got lots of screws left, you need to go back a few steps and make sure you know that you've not made an error. Now, all I want to do is clean up this edge here, remove any of the old adhesive without... I'm not going to use acetone on this bit because it is made of plastic. This side's metal though. Make sure that all the adhesive's gone. And then on this side, I am going to use alcohol to clean it up, just on my brush. Only a little bit. Make sure that it's nice and clean. Right, so these come in, you know what, right, if you use these adhesive back cover kits, then they come with replacement screws like that, look, but we just reuse the screws that we used. Then these go on a pile of Samsung screws. When I say that, I mean they just go on a pile on my desk. Peel off the peel. I can't remember which way this one goes. Is it usually that way, isn't it? Let's make sure it's right. Yes. So peel off the clear film, leave the green one on for now, line up in the left-hand corner. I always go left, I don't know why. I think it's because I use my right hand so that I can see the left side, and the camera is right by my peripheral vision on my right hand side, so it'd be blocked if I went on the right side first. Once it's lined up, I'm just waffling on it, sorry guys. Line it all up, get it all stuck down, use the spudger. We've done this before guys. If this is your first time repairing, go and check my other videos. We do this all the time, man. Anyway, peel off the green film. Make sure that this side's clean. You're not going to get it perfect, right? That's as good as it gets, really. If you start really scrubbing at this back cover anymore, it's going to start wearing away at the paint and it's going to look uneven and it's going to look crap. That's as good as it's getting. Dust off your cameras. Bish, bash, slip that on. Slip, slap, what? Stick it down. Wow. 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 I'm just copying that meme. Look, 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 look. Samsung! Hooray! Galaxy! That's it. Job done. S23 SM-911U USA version. Screen completed. Don't know why I'm getting so excited about Verizon. Have a great day, everybody. See you in the next video.